All right. Well, it's not morning anymore. Good afternoon, everybody. Appreciate y'all being on. Obviously, was pleased in some respects and not pleased in others with yesterday. But we've gotten to play a lot of people in these first few ball games, and we're just struggling with continuity through substitution. I think that's evident in every game defensively in the fourth quarter, in the third, and even in the second half to an extent. And so I think you have to understand that and take it with a grain of salt and realize what you're looking at. And so that being said, we're on to the next one. I'm awfully proud of where our team is right now, and I think the improvement that we've made. And now we're going to get a chance to play a team that we played last year, and really played hard up there. Had a really good. I thought we opened the game well in the first quarter. Had a little scoring drought the second quarter. Fourth quarter, it got away from us a little bit. We made a little run at the end, but obviously not having Rory. I think Taylor was at the time in and out of the lineup, in and out of practice, was dealing with some injuries herself. And so I was proud of our kids going up there and competing like they did. And Shelly was having to be our point guard and trying to learn her position and trying to learn a whole new system. So we had multiple things going on at that point in the year. And so I know we're excited about the opportunity to play them again. Obviously, I don't have to sit here and tell you what a great program they are, and certainly coach, what a great coach he is. That all speaks for itself. But I'm excited about my team. I'm excited about our opportunity. Again, hopefully we'll have a great crowd on Sunday on national TV. I think I was told we have 2,000 tickets left that went on sale to the general public today. I think the first 500 students get in and get free food. I think all students get in for free. And I think there's 1,000 students. Jeremy, what is it for 1,000 students? They get maybe 1,000 get food and 500 get T-shirts, something like that.
1,000 get T-shirts, 500 get food. Yeah. It's not free to all students right now. What else was I gonna say? It's a burnt orange app.
Yeah. So, it's a great opportunity for us here at Texas to show the country, women's basketball here in Austin at the University of Texas and in our program. So, again, I know Connecticut's coming off of an island tournament where they played two really good teams, and we feel like we're coming off where we had to play three back to back to back, and obviously two of those teams we felt like going in would be really good, and I think we played well. So I'm excited about the week, man. This is why you do what you do. It's non-conference, but yet it's a great opponent, great opportunity. Be a part of the Jimmy V Classic is really special. It's an honor, and so many people out there that are battling cancer, have lost loved ones to cancer. So the opportunity to be a part of the Jimmy V Week and the Jimmy V Foundation awareness really is pretty special and unique. So we'll have 2 or 3 good days of prep. We got a lot to learn from last night's film, as always, and looking forward to the challenges and the opportunities, really.
Thank you, Coach. Let's go Jonathan, then Eric.
Hey, Coach. You're talking about the challenges. What are some of the bigger points that you feel like you're going to have to emphasize with your team about dealing with this particular UConn team this year?
Well, I mean, they got great players at every position. All of them are, top 10 kids across the country year in and year out. So you're always dealing with highly skilled. And for me, the thing I noticed, not only does he coach them great, but they're all really cerebral kids. Like, they know the game. And so you're dealing with talented kids that know the game, that know his system, that play the way he wants to play. Again, I say this all the time. Everybody talks about his offense, but his defense is always so good and doesn't get near as much credit, I think, as it deserves. And, the consistency that he's been able to do it throughout his career there at Connecticut is just incredible. So this team's no different. Obviously, Paige is averaging, almost 22 points a game. She doesn't turn it over. She gets 5 rebounds a game. They're super athletic all over the floor. Edwards is just really hard to deal with. She's incredible. Aubrey Griffin is another one that you got to get a butt on, keep them off keep her off the boards, and love their guards. KK Arnold, Mule, all those kids do a great job. So we're going to have to be on point every possession. I think, again, you look at last night's film like I have, and we just don't have the focus that we needed last night to beat a Connecticut on Sunday. So we're going to have to get that corrected.
Eric?
Coach, I know in the leading up to the season, you talked about some of the challenges of being able to schedule some opponents, and just wanted to ask you, now that it's here and you be able to play this team here in Austin, just kind of, your overall thoughts on the showcase of being able to have a premier opponent here at home in Austin.
Well, yeah, you always want to have, in non-conference, you're trying to beef up your schedule, number one. Number two, it's great to have a non-conference opponent that's top 10, top 20 in the country. It's not only good for your kids, but it's good for your fan base, and it energizes them a little bit. So, Coach was nice enough to and they've had a history of playing Texas over the years, and it's a schedule that I inherited, quite honestly. And with COVID and everything, we just had some issues when I first got here playing the game, and then the following year, both of our schedules were pretty much done, and so we had an issue then. So we finally gotten around to playing what had been on the schedule now since when I got here. So we've been able to do that the last 2 years. So, and I wouldn't be surprised if we play each other in the future. I think we're both good for the game. We both have a history. Obviously, there's a tremendous history here at Texas in women's basketball, and with Coach Conrad and her accomplishments, and obviously what he's done there. And so there's a little bit of history in good women's basketball between the two schools, and hopefully we can continue that.
Jeff, go ahead.
Coach, you mentioned the focus and the lack of focus that you saw at times last night. Do you think having a national brand like UConn in there will change that focus, or is that something that you think is going to take weeks to improve?
I hope it doesn't take weeks. We don't have weeks. I've got Connecticut, and then I got to go to Arizona and play, and so we don't have weeks. Last night's real unique. I think I told everybody, our travel was real challenging coming back, and I got a bunch of kids that are sick. I'll just be honest, and that's not excuses. It's just the truth of the matter. We got a bunch of kids with some sniffles. I got a staff full of sniffles, and so we're trying to combat that. Hattie was a little dinged up. We held her out last night. She didn't play, but I think she'll be, hopefully be cleared to play this weekend. And, Amo's got a lot of rust to knock off. Our focus last night wasn't great. And when I say that, for instance, transition defense has not been a problem for us all year. Transition defense was an issue last night. Not focused on blocking out last night was an issue for me. So, I think all those things are real curable. It's not anything that's terminal. We just got to get in the gym. And I think somebody pointed out to me, the last time we had a full good workout was the Monday before we left to go on the trip. We flew out Tuesday morning. We worked out maybe an hour and a half there Tuesday night, but the Monday before we left is the last time we've really practiced. And so Wednesday we had 50 minutes. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we had a 50-minute shoot around, getting ready for whatever team was on the schedule. Traveled Sunday, off Monday. We practiced Tuesday, but it was not good. Again, lots of kids sick, and just looked like we were hung over, from the travel. So yesterday, I kind of stayed with it and played some key. Even when we were not handling certain things well, I wanted to stay with it just to condition a little bit, to be honest with you. And our biggest issue, to be completely transparent, we're having a hard time with continuity through substitution. So when we get down our bench, we're having a hard time of staying at the same level as we are when we're starting out. I think you look at the first quarter, first half yesterday, we held them 24 points. When we start getting down our bench, we gave up 50 points the second half yesterday. So, but those kids have got to play, and they need the experience. And fortunately, we've been able to give that to them.
Danny, go ahead.
Yeah, we'll get a chance to talk to her in a few seconds, but you haven't shied away from saying you think Rory's the best point guard in the country. And I'm kind of wondering, how do you think she's going to, relish this opportunity to go against two other players who can probably claim the same thing?
Well, I don't think it's a proving ground. I don't think Sunday's your proving ground. I think Sunday's the day you do what you've been doing and don't get outside of yourself, and everything works out. I don't think it's a one-on-one game, just like it's not me, the coach, versus coach, the coach. Like, you can't look at it that way. So, again, I'm open to anybody that wants to show me another player across the country that plays as hard and plays as long and does what Rory does. And there's lots of great offensive players across the country, lots of them. And there's guards that are averaging more points than Rory, but they're not guards that are doing the points, assists, steals, and the defensive assignments that she gets every night. And so, but I don't think Sunday's your proving ground, and it can't be, quite honestly. You can't get outside yourself or think that's my day to show the world. That ain't it, and I don't think that'll be it for her. I'd really be shocked if any of our players take that. I think as a collective unit and as a team, we're pretty good, and we've embraced that all year long. We're really good together. If we're going to try to do something individually, I think that's when we're going to get in trouble.
As a follow-up, you probably don't want to tip your hat too much, but defensively, since UConn is so deep, especially in their backcourt, is Rory going to have multiple assignments? Do you just want her on page? I mean, how does she kind of get used defensively this weekend?
Yeah, I think it'll be a kind of a smorgasbord, if you will. I think for all our kids, they do such a great job. They'll get into their offense through multiple players. It's not one person that's assigned to bringing the ball up. And I think that's what we, dealt with last year. It's just not one person that's responsible for that. So, again, I think where, Rory's so good is even off the ball. She's great at help side. She's great at sealing. But she's not perfect. I mean, she's got some things she's going to see on film today that we got to get better at. I'm sure Coach Ariama is going to show his team and go, look, this is what this group does, and this is what we can do to attack them. And so we all have things we've got to improve on and get better at. And so, that'll be something that we'll work on the next few days. But, I think her and Amina, obviously our two best defenders. And at the same time, I love what Amina's been able to do offensively for us. And, Amina played with a lot of confidence up there last year as a true freshman. So I'm excited for our team. I'm excited to see how we respond on Sunday. I'm excited for our fans to be able to come out and watch hopefully two great teams play a really good game.
Awesome.
All right. Appreciate it, y'all. Praise the Lord, Longhorns.
Danny, you want to go ahead with the Rory?
Yeah, Rory, I'm sure you just heard the question I asked Vic. How much are you kind of looking forward to a chance to, I guess, kind of measure yourself against Paige, against Nika, some of these two other really good point guards?
Well, I'm just pretty excited. It's going to be a good game, a good opportunity just for women's basketball in general. A top 10 and then 11 ranking matchup. It's always going to be fun when there's a ranked opponent that we're playing against. And I just really encourage everybody to come out, students. I mean, my family would be there, and everyone's just excited. They're waiting for the link to come out for the tickets, and it's so much more fun when there's more people there. So.
Jonathan.
Rory, I can tell from your answer, your last answer, how excited you are. Just kind of what's been the chatter like amongst you and your teammates about this game, and what do you think it's going to take for you all to have your best performance on a stage like this Sunday?
No, it's just going to take focus. I mean, that's just really the name of the game this season. We've been playing really well. We have our, mental lapses and hiccups every once in a while, but we're not perfect. And, we just strive to be perfect. We have high expectations for the team. And I can just tell our energy is a lot different coming in. Yeah, we have a few little sicknesses around the team and whatnot, but those are just little excuses that we're just going to make ourselves. So we just have to get through it and take care of ourselves and understand that there's a big game coming up and we have to do well.
Yeah. Jeff, go ahead. Yep.
Okay, cool. Rory, just what's the best part about having a premier program like UConn tip off with you guys at this point in the season?
I mean, like I said, it's just a really good opportunity. Like last year, I didn't really get to play, and it was around the same time last year, and I guess we're both in sort of like one of our first 10 games, 9, 8, one of those, and we're just starting. We're trying to get some of those kinks out of our team and understand like what we can and can't do or what we can do better at and all that stuff. And so, this is just another game that we're just excited to play, and we're just happy that it's here in the Moody Center this year, and we'll have our home court advantage with the fans and the students, and just playing against a really good team.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Rory, you've talked a little bit about it, but how much did it kind of drive you crazy to have to sit last year and watch this game from the bench? And did you learn anything through that experience?
Yeah, I mean, I learned a lot through that. I think 3 weeks that I was really out. I couldn't do anything. Like I really just had to sit there and be patient, and it's almost a blessing in disguise because you learn so much when you're sitting on the sidelines. And Amo can definitely attest to that. She sounds so knowledgeable now. Like she just knows like so much. Just being able to sit on the bench and see like it's a completely different ball game when you're seeing it from a different perspective. And yeah, it hurt a lot. Like it really did sting. They did pretty good though. Like to not have their point guard, I mean, that's a little devastating. Like I feel it. I believe the first few practices that we had, when we heard that I had to sit out for the first 5 games of the seasons, it was really deflated. You could tell that the energy was low. And so for them to do what they did last year, only what was it, lose by 7-ish? I don't really remember the exact number, but that's pretty impressive. And so I feel like we have a chip on our shoulder this year, and it'll be good. And I mean, it's my first opportunity to play against them, so I'm not going to take it for granted. So,
Do you think as a team, y'all are thinking about the big picture of this weekend, with it being a national broadcast and 2 premier programs, kind of what it means to women's basketball as a whole, or are you trying not to get too bogged down in all that and just focus on the actual game itself?
basically what you said, just really just focus on the actual game itself, but we still need to understand and keep in the back of our heads that it is a meaningful game for women's basketball, women's sports in general. It's time to represent who we are as Texas and as a woman in sports, and it's a really good opportunity. I'm excited.
Anything else for Rory? Yeah, Jonathan.
Rory, what has it been like kind of this early part up to this point of the season, and like, trying to like get everybody up to speed? Coach was talking about that, earlier about, just trying to get everybody to kind of play on the same level. What has that process been like for you, trying to help out some of the younger teammates and whatnot?
I'm just holding them accountable. That's just one thing. They're all so talented, and I don't. Of course, me and myself, we're teammates. when I tell them something, it's completely different from when it's coming from coach. And sometimes it's just to show how close we are as a team. Like they, especially Madison and G, they take the criticism and accountability part like so well. They're able to listen and they're great basketball players, and I don't expect them to be perfect. So I mean, as long as they're playing hard, they understand that I'm trying to help them here and there. And then as far as the team as a whole, we just have to continue to keep each other accountable for everything. And it's hard when it comes to like times like that where it's like you don't want to keep nagging someone if making the same mistake, but here we are, like feeling close as ever, like we're able to do it. And I feel like that's one of the reasons why we're like so successful right now.
Well, Rory, you can tell all the family that the ticket link is live and they can go and buy up all their tickets. It's $9 a ticket for general admission seating. And
There
let's
should be a
get
lot of
those-
people there then.
let's get those 2,000 tickets sold.
Great. I will tell them.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, thank you guys.